forget.
She's kind of this because hello, sorry if you can hear the washing machine. I'm washing my clothes, so I'm so tired. I mean, where do I begin? This morning I knew I was gonna have a pretty long day, and today is also my rest day, and so I really wanted to just like chill and go on a morning walk. So I had to wake up pretty early for me. Recently it's been hard for me to wake up early, and so like 7 a.m. felt kind of rough, but I'm so glad that I got to see the sunrise and go on a little walk and just be happy. So now I think the flat above me is hoovering because I can hear these noises. Oh, whatever. Then I had a 9 a.m. post-lab Q&A because I had my immunostaining lab yesterday, which was like 3 hours long, and it definitely dragged a bit just because basically you have a slide with like some tissue on it or some cells, and then you have to add something on to stain it and just leave it for 20 minutes. Then you have to wash it off and stain it with something else for 20 minutes. And so there's a lot of waiting, and it can become kind of repetitive unless you really love immunostaining. I don't know anyone that's like obsessed with it, to be honest. And then I went to the library, did a little bit of work. I did an assessment for my statistics, and I did a post-lab Q&A, which are all just like tiny short quizzes that make up like 20% of our grade in the end for each module. And so they seem kind of insignificant, but then if you did skip all of them, you'd lose out on a massive chunk of your grade. So gotta be done. There goes my machine. And then I had my building induction, which was online, thankfully, so I just did that from the library, and that was just going over the health and safety protocols and like general information. And then after that I had 2 hours of statistics, which was fine. We just did ANOVA tests, which isn't anything new. And then I had my presentation, which went surprisingly well for me. I'm not very good at public speaking, and my voice always goes really shaky, and then I get nervous and I feel like I'm embarrassing myself. But this time it wasn't that bad, and I think it's because I was part of a group and it was just our tutor who was marking it for us, and so there wasn't really an audience. Everyone there was either in my group or my tutor, and he's very like friendly and relaxed, so it wasn't really a big deal. I did try my best though to like practice ahead and memorize my script, but it didn't go that well. I think I missed out one sentence, but I had to speak for like only 6.5 minutes or something, so it was okay, but glad it's over. I've been kind of dreading Thursday today all week because I just had like continuous stuff without any breaks, and also just the presentation, it was kind of on my mind, and so now I'm really glad that it's done and I can just kind of chill out. Like, I feel like I've been stressing out for like 2 weeks about this, so yeah. So now I'm home, it's 5 o'clock. I'm gonna go and do a little food shop. I just need some bread I think literally all I need is bread. Maybe some eggs would be good, but then sometimes I get like the egg nausea and I don't want to eat them for ages, and maybe I have that right now, I can't really tell. And I need to put away my clean clothes. Just did a clothes wash. We'll put those on my little drying contraption, which is kind of out of view, but it's there, I promise. And yeah, just chill out. I'm actually really tired right now. Not gonna lie, I feel so sleepy. But yeah, one thing I've noticed is that I do feel more genuine happiness, and that's, I know this sounds really bad, but that isn't really something I'm used to experiencing so often. I remember a couple months ago I was journaling and I was using some prompts, and one of the prompts was about the last time you felt genuine happiness and what were you doing and how can you incorporate that more into your daily life. And I was quite upset by that prompt because I really could not think of my last genuinely happy moment. It was really a struggle to just recall when it was, and maybe it was uncomfortable to feel like I'm not a happy person, but then it was also a good thing because it kind of provoked change. And I have spoken recently about how I'm really trying to be social and put myself out there, because I tend to isolate myself without even realizing, and I tell myself that it's what I need and that I like to be alone, but really I think I have lacked human connection for a long time, and I've gotten too comfortable in my unhealthy habits, and I didn't even realize my behaviors are negative. Like, I didn't realize being so lonely that I don't even speak a word for 5 days straight is a bad thing. I was always just kind of like, oh, like, this is a nice, peaceful, quiet way to live. I don't need anyone else. I'm fine on my own. But since I've been really pushing myself to try more, and like, I talk to people and I genuinely listen when they speak and I want to know more about them. I put effort into making plans with people, even though I do tend to be quite avoidant, and I feel almost a little bit anxious when I make plans with people because I know that I can't have that time to myself. I feel very selfish with my time, and when I know I have a lecture or I have plans to meet someone beforehand, I start to dread it, no matter how positive the experience could be or how much I wanted to do it when I planned it. I start to feel worried because I won't have so much autonomy over my time, and I'm not entirely sure why I feel the need to exercise all of this control over my time, as if it's like the most important thing in the world, as if I won't have another day tomorrow where I can do whatever I want. I'm not sure. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, I kind of got distracted. I have been noticing that I recognise negative thought patterns and I stop them, and I'm noticing also that when I'm connecting with people and relating to them and realising like other people are the same as me and we share the same feelings and emotions and the way we live is so similar, I feel so seen and so comforted. And I think that is something I was so lacking my whole life, really. I can't really remember having such a strong sense of community as I do now, and I've only been here like a month, you know. I barely know anyone that well. I don't have any like best friends, but there are all these new people in my life all of a sudden, and it feels so positive. And so I'm really just trying to let myself feel happier and enjoy those moments, and not just like always be worrying about what I need to do next or when I can go home because I'm tired, you know, like. But yeah, just positive changes I've noticed since putting more effort into my life. I just wasn't really expecting that, and now I'm just kind of happy all the time. Like, I was sat in my presentation earlier and I was so tired and I'd been nervous all day, and then I was like, oh, like, what a long day I've had, but I'm having so much fun, you know. It's like my way of thinking has become much less negative. I tend to see the positives more often, and I'm more optimistic, I suppose, as opposed to before where I kind of just dreaded everything all the time. It's definitely not Like, I never feel sad, I never dread anything, I never feel negative. Like, I definitely do sometimes. Like, I feel like everybody has those moments. I'm noticing that they are considerably less often. And that is such a nice feeling when something changes so abruptly or like in such a big way that you notice it. You notice the change and it's not just a gradual thing. But yeah, now I'm tired and I don't want to keep talking because my throat hurts. So I'll see you in a bit. Hi, I'm not gonna talk long because there's someone like jet washing right outside my window and I feel like I need to shout. Otherwise you won't be able to hear me. But I'm having a fabulous morning. I just did another 5k and this time I could run the whole time, which is a serious improvement compared to the one I did like 3 days ago where I had to stop and walk like 4 times. And so my next run is on Sunday and that's the long run. It's only 7k but each week it goes up by 2 kilometers and yeah. I have all of those exercise endorphins in me and I'm just so ready to go to the library. It's a beautiful day. I'm literally just like, I'm at the top of my happiness scale right now. I'm so good and like, yeah! And it's Friday. It's such a beautiful end to the week. I'm so happy. Okay, I'm gonna pack my bag and I'm gonna go. Change your mind like a girl changes clothes. It's 5 p.m. on a Saturday. I've been editing for I think 8 hours and I've not been outside at all today, so I'm gonna go and see the sunset. And I have another headache, which I know is my fault for staring at my computer all day without a break, but I also like need to finish this today because I have to send it to the company that's sponsoring my video by today, so I'm already kind of late. So yeah, let's go on a walk. Oh my god. Good morning. We are on the floor again, as usual. It's Monday and I'm really trying to have a good start to the week without putting too much pressure on myself to like be super productive. I went on a walk, I had therapy, I made pancakes, and I feel like that is the perfect morning, and now I am ready to work. I'm just trying to be more self-aware and catch negative thoughts before they kind of manifest and make me behave in a way I'm not proud of, whether that be angry towards myself or to other people. I really don't like complaining, and this is what I talked about in therapy today. I have this discomfort in confrontation. I really in my head think that I'm keeping the peace by not complaining, but all I'm really doing is making myself suffer for longer. Because most of the time if I have an issue, it won't just go away on its own, especially if someone else is involved. Like, if I communicate sooner, then the resolution will come about sooner and I will suffer less, and I'm doing nobody a service by delaying things. I don't know if that really makes sense without context, but I just have these weird ways of thinking that I don't even realise are actually very unhelpful until I reflect on them, and I'm like, oh, I'm actually making life way harder for myself and it's my fault. I'm to blame. My responsibility to figure it out. Other than that though, had a pleasant weekend, did some editing, did my long run, my first long run, which was only 7 kilometers, but I felt proud that I ran the whole thing, and then at the end I was kind of like itching to keep going. I wasn't really that tired, and so I'm looking forward to this week, which is 9-kilometer long run. And I actually don't have anything on for uni today. I do have a few deadlines this week. I have some quizzes, but I'm pretty sure I've done all of them already on the weekend. And I also have an essay due on Thursday, and I also need to prepare a draft of a lab report. Hopefully I can figure out new ways to write and critically think. I think in my undergrad I was just so stressed out about submitting things on time that I never actually tried to improve my writing. Whereas now I want to try and think outside of the box and use the next few months to really improve my skills and understand what I'm lacking before I start my research project and I'm basically just in the lab. I must make the most of my degree while I'm doing it, because I'm so lucky to have access to this education, and I would feel so silly to not be appreciative and make the most of it. I think that is also something I really took for granted when I was younger, like just having access to education and not having to worry like about working when I was in school to support my family. Just actually crazy. All the things you take for granted and don't even realise until you're older and have more perspective on the world. But in the present, I am always trying to be grateful. I appreciate the little moments much more than I used to, and I think that brings more kind of substance and happiness to my daily life. Like just getting to wake up and go on a walk in the morning, I feel so happy about and so grateful for. Throughout the day I can kind of return to the peaceful moments I've had in the morning, and it just really helps me to stay in a good place mentally. I find that I usually have to prioritise myself first, so the morning I really like to do my skincare, do my makeup, do my walk, do some reading, do some stretching, just like anything. Even having a big glass of cold water makes me feel so happy in the morning, and then it sets me up for such a good day. I feel like when I jump into work immediately, it's not good. And of course, having a lot of time to yourself in the morning is also a privilege, and I'm just like realizing every day how lucky and blessed I am to be alive and have all these things. So wow, that was an intense ramble. I'm gonna like start working now.